Words can be powerful if you use them correctly. They can rally a nation.
I can hear you, the rest of the world hears you, and the people who knock these buildings down will hear all of us soon.
Words can inspire a generation.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Words can even win over someone's heart.
I love you. You complete me. And I just had...
Shut up. Just shut up. You had me at hello.
But some words are so powerful you can't even say them on TV.
There are words that you can say, no problem. Topography! No one has ever gone to jail for screaming topography. But there are some words that you can go to jail for. I was just trying to find out which words they were. For sure, all of them. I wanted a list, because nobody gives you a list. That's the problem. They don't give you a list. Wouldn't you think it'd be normal if they didn't want you to say something to tell you what it is? Nobody even tells you when you're a kid what the words are that you're supposed to avoid. You have to say them to find out which ones they are. That's two. Oh, Ma, that's enough trial and error, huh? Please, Ma, give me a list, huh?
Be careful what you wish for. Stanford University, one of the top schools in the country, spent the last 18 months coming up with a list of words that you're not allowed to say anymore. It's part of their elimination of harmful language initiative. At the top of the list, Stanford issued a warning. This website contains language that is offensive or harmful. Please engage with this website at your own pace. So Primetime would like to issue our own viewer warning. If you have children watching, they should leave. First up, saying American is now banned. They want you to say U.S. citizen instead. Why? Well, Stanford says calling people from the United States of America Americans is a problem because it insinuates that the U.S. is the most important country in the Americas. Fox News alert, we are the most important country in the Americas. Zelensky isn't asking Guatemala for money. He's coming here. What other words did Stanford ban? Gangbusters. You should use very successful instead. They say gangbusters invokes the notion of police action against gangs. We wouldn't want to offend the Crips. Next word you can't say, immigrant. Say non-citizen or person who has immigrated. For example, 5 million non-citizens came into the U.S. illegally since Biden took office. The phrase beating a dead horse is also banned. You should say refusing to let something go. Stanford says this expression normalizes violence against animals. The horse is metaphorical and already dead. Where's the violence? I don't know. Another banned word, grandfather. Instead, call him legacy. Stanford says the word grandfather has roots in the grandfather clause, which southern states use to deny voting rights to blacks. By this logic, anything that involves slavery should be banned, so we can't say Democrats anymore. Grandmother is still okay to use, though, so grandmothers, make sure to sign all your Christmas cards from Grandma and Legacy. Stanford even banning some of the left's favorite words, like trigger warning. They say it's too triggering. Use content note instead. And preferred pronouns is out too. Now you just say pronouns because the word preferred suggests you're able to choose your gender identity. I know this is confusing, so let's move on. Karen is banned. Instead of calling someone a Karen, you should call them an entitled white woman. I think Karens would rather be called Karens. Up next, blind study is banned. It's hurtful to blind people. They want you to say masked study instead. These people love masks. But the 3 masked mice just doesn't have the same ring to it. What else can't you say? Addicted. Instead, use hooked or devoted. The hunter isn't just the smartest guy Joe knows, he's also the most devoted. The word master is also banned, as in master bedroom. They want you to say primary instead. Do you think Stanford will be giving refunds to all those students who paid 60 grand for a racist master's degree? I don't know. They don't want us to use chief anymore. They say calling a white person chief trivializes real Indian chiefs. And you can't call an actual Indian a chief. The only people who are allowed to use the word chief are Indians. And Randy Livingston, who is Stanford's chief financial officer. And there's one word that you should never say under any circumstance, ever. It's so bad, they don't even have a replacement for it. Brave. It culturally appropriates Native Americans because only Native Americans were brave. There's not a single other ethnic group on the planet ever that demonstrated bravery. We can't even call Fang Fang brave for sleeping with Eric Swalwell. Maybe I'm just old-fashioned, or maybe I just love the English language more than Stanford. But we sent a producer out to see what you think.
Stanford came up with a list of words that they don't want you to say anymore, so let's go ahead and go through that list. First up, what is wrong with the word American?
Absolutely nothing.
What's wrong with saying the word American? I mean, we're in America, right?
It seems kind of dumb that they would take it away.
I don't find anything wrong with saying American.
How about immigrant? What's wrong with that?
Immigrant. Well, that's kind of the name that's been used for a very long time.
There are people in this world that like to use where people have come from and to put them down for that.
Is it offensive? No, and it should never have become offensive.
A person that immigrated, is that better, you think?
Person that immigrated? That's a good question.
What's the difference?
It's just the English language and how you choose, did they immigrate or are they immigrants?
What is wrong with calling somebody a Karen?
I haven't even heard of this. I feel hurt when I hear that.
I love using that as just like a funny term of jokingly.
Personally, as a woman of color who's had to deal with a few Karens, I don't find it wrong to say the word Karen.
Who knows, the next gen or in 10 years, they'll be called a Barbara.
Well, instead of calling someone Karen, Stanford wants you to call them an entitled white woman. Is that less offensive?
No, that's still pretty offensive.
I would say that'd be incredibly more offensive because now you're, individualizing that race.
I will call them both a Karen and an entitled white woman.
What is wrong with the title grandfather?
Nothing.
I have never heard anything wrong with the title of grandfather.
Oh, that's the word for somebody that is our father's father, is it not?
My husband's a grandfather. What do you mean by that?
I don't think that's offensive at all, personally.
Do you agree with Stanford's words that are offensive?
I don't really believe in removing words from dictionaries at all.
Stanford is kind of out of touch or kind of elitist. So
Let's not keep changing the definition of these words. Let's just stay with what it means and stop making it offensive.
My grandfather went to Stanford University, my legacy, and I wasn't even smart enough to go there as a legacy. But would I send Jesse Jr. to Stanford? No, because I don't want to fly that far to see him. And 2, their football team's trash. And 3, Stanford has become a Fed boot camp. Stanford's indoctrinating speech police, matriculating them into Silicon Valley where they'll spread their communist speech codes. President Kennedy, Justice Sandra Day O'Connor, the guy who started Google, they all studied at Stanford. A few weeks after these kids toss their caps into the air, they'll be running tech companies and writing laws. Let's hope they don't bring the list of banned words with them. So tonight, I am calling for a fake boycott of Stanford University. Do not apply there. Do not donate. Do not hire Stanford grads. Gutfeld, who went to Berkeley, said Stanford's just a safety school anyway.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.